Hello and welcome to my video on part 3 of the plaYeah Power-Ups by Rob Galvin to enhance your Thinkific Student Learning Experience. In this video, I'm going to complete the series of the plaYeah Power-Ups demo to show you how I've set it up in the back end and then show you what it's like on the front end as a Thinkific student. I wanted to sort of do this video because I think it's really important to show all the different elements that I've customized, and that, how I've customized it is only one example of how you can tailor your Thinkific student learning journey and Thinkific student learning experience, and how it can really make a powerful impact for the learner. And the other reason why I wanted to split the videos up was to sort of show you how nuanced it is to customize each element. If you remember from the previous videos, each plaYeah Power-Up has a section where you add the tour guide, the pops, and then the style, and how they all sort of come together when you're a student in the course. So let's get started. I'm already in my site builder, so just follow along and just sort of watch. I'm just gonna quickly show you how I've customized the different sections, these 3 different sections of the tour guide, the pops, and the style, and then show you as a student what it looks like and how it can be effective in some senses, and how it could be taken further to support your student through every aspect of the learning experience. So I want to go back to the tour guide and sort of how I've set it up. And just so you know, this is something that is a bug that's right now in the plaYeah Power-Up. So as long as you see this, just know that it's a temporary bug and it's okay. If you refresh your page, then that warning disappears. So I'm going to refresh my page just so that the warning message disappears. And then now I want to show you some of the different things that I did that I think would be really helpful. So one of the things that is important throughout the learning journey is sort of onboarding. So how students are set up with their Thinkific portal, how they access their lessons, how they submit assignments and take quizzes. And so part of that is what I call the onboarding journey. And so the default setting, the default text was it's called the player help. And so I customized it to say Thinkific learning, or you could say Thinkific onboarding journey. You can even say start here for your onboarding journey. And sometimes I even want to say, as another option, you can replace the text to say, check back here if you have questions navigating. So you can even change it to Thinkific navigation help, so that you'll see later on that it'll always show up in the students' portal, and that if they ever have any problems, they can always click on the Thinkific navigation help button, and then I'll sort of go over sort of like how the portal works. So once that is done, I'm not going to go back to my Thinkific onboarding journey. And just so you know, every time you change this text, and that goes for everything in these elements here, colors, menu, dashboard, colors, anytime you change this, you want to click save. And then you want to click on copy code and then go into your site footer settings here, and then replace the old style settings with the code again. The reason why you have to do that is the changes don't take place until you regenerate the code. So I'd highly recommend that you work through each element of the tour guide, the pops, and the style, and copy the code once so that you're not copying it after each element that you're testing it out. So the one good thing is that you can kind of see some of the elements. You can see what the text looks like when you're working on it in Site Builder, but it's always important to test this out as a student in the course. And the best way to do that is adding yourself or adding someone else on your team, and just going through the entire course to make sure it's designed as you would have liked it, and making sure that these elements which you've set up matches what you see as a student in the course. So that's just sort of like the thing about the tour guide that I wanted to mention. I've customized some chapters and text so that it's a little bit more personalized. The language is specific to my learners. And then I'm going to show you how I've customized, done a little bit more customization with the pops so that you can see the additional enhancements that I wanted to add and suggest when you are designing this as well. So as you see from the last video, I've added the confetti. And so basically that's a very fun, kind of just pops up on your screen. And the text can be customized. I just said, great to have you join us. I didn't really do too much changes with the medium, the GIFs, or the call to action. But the reminder here is that it might be helpful that at each section of the course, like maybe after each module, you can have a check-in and take them to a Facebook part of the Facebook group link, or you could take them to another link as a way to say, hey, now check in and keep us posted on your progress. But the cool thing was from the last two videos, one of the other two things that I've added is sort of the encouragement. So I've done this and I've set this up based on progress. So as long as they've started the course, they will always see this kind of display, and the text will say, keep going. And then the main thing is that you want to set it up in terms of targeting by lessons, specific lessons. And so I'll show you, this is one of the tricky things in how it shows up, because it doesn't necessarily, you don't want to necessarily set it up for multiple lessons unless you think it looks and feels right, because it can be kind of annoying. And then the last thing that I've added that I think really makes a difference is the sort of encouragement in terms of progress. And so I set this up for the course so that anytime they reach 10%, it will display a video. And so basically saying, oh, you're so close to the finish line, just a few more lessons and you'll be there. And so here is where I take them to a motivational video to sort of break up, the monotony of taking the course and, watching the lesson. So I'll sort of, this is something that I added that's not my video, but I take them to a YouTube video. You can even record your own customized video and upload it to YouTube or Vimeo, and then put the link on here. If you're wondering which one would be better, the one advantage is using Vimeo because there are no ads displayed after a video, which can kind of make the user experience very not as positive because they're distracted by all the ads. So that's why I would suggest using Vimeo. And then, so that's the pops. And then the last thing I want to go into and show you how I've set it up before I show you what it looks like as a student is the style editor. And here is where I would really suggest working with a designer who understands design and style, because there's so many elements of style in terms of heading, what size font, what size text, and how it really matches with your branding, and how you can upload your logo here. And all these really go together for a very cohesive and consistent and uniform experience. So I've applied this to specific courses. I've just used a test logo to sort of show you that your logo, the color, would need to sort of match the branding, this background color here. So that's something that you can customize, like this is the text here. This is the hex code, but what I'm saying is something to keep in mind with your designer is to match and make the code, the color code consistent with your logo so that it really blends in. This is something that you really want to avoid because it looks a little bit unprofessional. So those are some things. And then here you can continue to upload different sorts of patterns and textures to sort of blend in with the page. Style is really about understanding your audience, understand your learners, and really what they resonate with. So that's something to consider. I took it out because I like less design lifestyle. I like more simple, minimalistic design. So I tried to sort of remove things until I know clearly that it really works. And then the text, you can change the colors. I didn't really do too much, but I kept the default colors because I really like this green and this kind of dark, kind of navy-ish background. And so then once that's done, I need to add the course targeting and search the course that it applies to, which would be the Launch Your Online course. And then make sure I click Save. And I'll need to copy this because I made some changes before. And then watch, I can then update the site settings again. And this is the style. And so here is where I would suggest you just kind of remove the old code and then repaste it. And then click Save. Make sure I copy the right code because sometimes we tend to copy things and just make sure it's right. So I looked at the code again to make sure that's the right code that I've copied onto my settings here, and then click Save. Now I'm going to show you, the last part of this video is to show you what it's like as a student in this specific course in terms of the settings from the Powerpop, such as the confetti and the encouragement, and then the style. Okay, so now I am logged in as a student in the course, and now I want to show you some of the elements from the Powerups that I've customized and what it looks like here. So as you remember, I had this Thinkific onboarding journey. I customized it because it said player help before. And so anytime as a student I have confusion with navigating this, I can click on this onboarding journey, and then it will take me through the whole experience of how do I navigate. And so this is something that's really cool, and I would totally suggest adding images, adding emojis, and just making this more personalized so that when I'm beginning my journey, it'll sort of walk me through these sorts of questions that I, as a student, may have when I'm navigating this. So that's just what's cool about this, is that this text is sort of front and center, so that every time as a student I'm having trouble, I can always know that I go back to the Thinkific onboarding journey, and that takes me through the whole tour of my portal. Next, I'm going to then show you the confetti shows up, as you see, and that can be fun for the first few, and then you may think, oh, it might be annoying. So just remember that the confetti is fun, but too much may be a little bit overwhelming and annoying for your students. And then here is where I added the encouragement power to keep it going. And so as you see, it says, don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. And so those are little things that I've added. And so I don't know, you can decide for yourself if that works or not. I added it to a few lessons as just a reminder. But
hello there, welcome to my video.
It can be very, can be a little bit too much. Now you see I added it again. And so I think the lesson here is that it's okay to add it in the beginning, but maybe not to every lesson, because the pop-up can be annoying. Or maybe instead of a pop-up, it should be a display. So that's just something to take into consideration. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is that the style, we saw the Power Style Editor, and that the style is something, this is what you see now. And so there's not a lot of style because I don't like a lot of color. I'm more of a simple, like very kind of like, I like this Scandinavian design, so you don't see a lot of style here, but you can always go back and add the colors and tweak the logos, whatever you think sort of enhances how your students experience each individual lesson. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. There will be a link in the description to learn more about the Powerups by Rob Galvin, and send me any ideas and for another video, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.